Welcome back, my dark beans, to the WTF news / reaction. Today we're back again to the continued saga of Vshojo. Yes, Vshojo is still up on topic, and somehow there's still information available. And right now we're gonna be watching Legal Mindset because there's even more stuff. Now let's just let you know, I had to watch this a little bit to see if there's anything that there's a reason for me to even watch it, because like I said, I don't want to keep making Vshojo the whole point right now. I want to go back to playing games, reactions here. But I did check it out. It seems there's still some more stuff happening, and some things happening within the company, with the formal company now. So yeah, and this one's about somebody got a letter exposing what was happening behind the scenes. Illegal, so one of the employees exposed it. So we're gonna be seeing what that is, and don't worry, it's not gonna be all Vshojo. There is gonna be another video by Rev, who's going to be talking about the pay services, Visa and Mastercard getting what they deserve, which is going to be good news because I think all of us don't want our lives being controlled by them. And I was going to talk about next week, but hey, better now than ever. All right, let's continue on. Let's go. Let's begin. Legal Mindset, take it away. Legal Mindset with Andrew Esquire. Alright, let's see.
Vshojo has more news as to their mismanagement.
Once again, sorry for the feedback.
Of them melting down, facing serious, and I mean dead serious, legal issues, regulatory issues related to their pending bankruptcy, related to their labor claims and potential criminal activity as relates to charity fraud. So we've got a lot of stuff.
So much stuff happened.
But we have a letter from an actual employee at Vshojo. We're going to go today that was posted on LinkedIn. We're going to
see what's going to happen.
Translated version.
We're going to see what's happening.
Exposes the inside mispractices.
And before I say it, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to try to give my 2 cents in the situation during this video. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but yeah, you know, sorry, I just hold up, never mind. I'm going to try to give my 2 cents in the situation, but hopefully I don't do that too much. Like, I don't pause the video too much. I don't want to make like a long videos of these situations.
Mismanagement and issues at Vshojo. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. This is a Fast Facts premiere, a quick and dirty version of the latest news that gets out there to you as quickly as possible. I've been very busy personally lately, so haven't had time for the full-length streams, but I've been trying to get these Fast Facts out to you to get the latest and greatest news to you as quickly as possible. So if you like that, you like these formats, please leave a comment and a like on this video. Let me know, hey, I like this, and hear my thoughts on the Vshojo issue.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right,
trust me.
Let's hop into it without any further
ado.
Here we go. Here's your letter from Alex Kiyoshi. Now, this was originally posted in Japanese on LinkedIn. However, this is the translated version into English. I did several translations and looked at folks that were pretty skilled. I think this one is good enough. Obviously, understand that with anything that's translated anywhere into any language, there can be certain things that can be translated in multiple ways. So there's a possibility of kind of minor changes.
To see if this is like another thing to react to.
Theme and candor of it speaks to the mismanagement at Vshojo. So let's just hop right into it. I'm going to read along and we'll stop as we're going to go. Taking this over the past year, Vshojo has faced an extremely challenging situation involving mismanagement from upper management, which only came to light just before its closure. It's now been officially announced that Vshojo has ceased operations. I want to stop there because I'm not always going to agree with Alex here. So I think that what he's saying when he says that the mismanagement from upper management only came to light just now, that is not entirely correct.
No,
I think there were people speaking out about this a year or 2 years ago. Now, they couldn't say everything. They were under threat of lawsuits. They had NDAs, etc. Even their moms have NDAs. So I
which
know
was idiotic.
These things may be new news for certain people, and maybe to a certain extent, this individual didn't know the full scope until the last couple months.
Because
it's now very clear, and to certain people, particularly the upper management, amongst the upper management, they knew this was going on for a year, 2 years, 3 years. They knew they had major issues. So there's a lot of culpability at the top, not just with the gun run, but certainly including the gun run.
Somebody
going on for a long time.
Everyone up there
decided to push forward despite major issues and the inability to really turn to a profitable business. They really had no business being in business because they had no path to profitability.
They basically just send it out there
and
this
opportunity. So he's saying it is now announced that Vshojo has ceased operations. So that is true. Now, of course, they're going to need an official bankruptcy. They're going to need official filings. They're going to have a criminal investigation. So
they're going to be so much for them.
Out of the woods, he can be investigated. There's criminal stuff that may come down, regulatory stuff. So he's not out of the woods, despite this letter. So, anyways, taking this opportunity, I would like to finally speak publicly about my experiences at Vshojo and my prior role at Cover. So he's going to go into Cover Corporation, of course, a separate corporation.
Oh, okay.
This post addressed misunderstandings and rumors stemming from a leak.
Wait, is Cover? I forget. Is Cover part of Hololive? No, it's probably a different Cover. There's no way they're the same thing. Sorry, I had to pause there just to think about it.
Document created by Vshojo's U.S. team, which was circulating online recently. This document, by the way, I'm giving some context here, was created in January of 2025.
All right.
This document led to incorrect perceptions of my role and involvement. The entertainment industry thrives on trust. I regret not only that Vshojo has lost trust of its talents and staff, but also that my name has been misrepresented in a manner inconsistent with the facts. First, let me clarify my role at Cover. I served as advisor and business planner at Cover, as accurately reflected on my LinkedIn profile. This can be verified by Cover's executives, EN team members, or the talents themselves. However, for some reason, Vshojo's materials referred to me as Gen 1 director, which is factually incorrect. The information has also led to confusion with Omega, a figure who was publicly disliked by some talents at the time. In reality, my role was to address the root of that issue, and I was the one who led the effort to remove Omega. When I joined Cover, my primary mission was to identify and resolve issues within the
Omega. Wasn't that the character? Wait, Omega. Wasn't that the character the Hololive basically removed and that no longer exists? Sorry, I'm bringing Hololive into this, but it's probably a whole different situation. I have no idea. Let's continue on. Sorry, my brain is like starting to click here.
Team. I collaborated with the CEO and CFO in strategic planning for IPO preparations, addressing challenges for EN and Indonesia teams, and establishing international business division for global expansion, because that's what Cover's been trying to do. Even after the IPO, that's the initial public offering, for those who don't know, I continue to support the overseas team as an advisor. So you can continue as an advisor for pretty much forever. And also sometimes as an advisor, you can work for other companies.
I'm learning.
That can be true.
I'm learning here.
So, by the way, him saying he worked as an advisor wouldn't necessarily get him out of working for other people or taking on independent work necessarily in and of itself. Now, the Cover Corporation, aka Hololive contract might,
there you go.
but not in and of itself legally. Let's continue. During my 3 years at Cover,
so it is Hololive. Okay, got it.
Significant decision. Whether to relocate to the U.S. for establishment of a new brand or choose a new path. At that time, I received an offer from Vshojo to remain in Japan. Because he liked Japan. Due to personal circumstances, I chose that option. He probably had a family, wife, mother, father, friends, something like that.
Got it.
And that's a legitimate decision to stay behind it. Regrettably, that decision turned out to be a significant mistake.
Oh, yeah.
That said, working with Vshojo's Japan team was an incredibly meaningful and proud experience. Despite being a small team, we operated with high efficiency, generated profits, and successfully launched a VTuber group, Nova. Although the company no longer exists, I, along with all the other former Japanese staff, am fully committed to supporting Nova and the Japanese talents as they continue their activities. I want to make something very clear here. This is a big confusion, and to be honest, I am going to give a little pushback on him here.
Okay.
There is no distinction between the legal distinction between the JP branch and the EN branch. This is an internal distinction, which makes no difference legally, financially, etc.
Okay, so they're both the same people.
He wasn't making a profit. Just because the talents he micromanaged within the corporation were making a profit does not make the corporation at all profitable. And the liability overall falls on the corporation as a whole because they're not legally distinct. There is no legally separate Japanese branch. They cannot split that off legally. They cannot spin that off.
So they're not a
legally impossible.
Branch?
Legally impossible. So he was not profitable.
Legal stuff
just
is
because
confusing.
The people he managed personally were does not mean the corporation overall was. So that distinction is an internal distinction, which makes no difference at all whatsoever.
Okay.
When the bankruptcy court comes in, they're not going to say, oh, yeah, well, the JP people were profitable and the EN weren't. No, they don't care. They look at overall assets and liabilities.
Okay, so the entire company is the same boat.
Vshojo had a huge problem putting things in the right category. They were putting, fees for talents under cost of goods, which is insane. So let's continue.
Where we at?
That's so. Let me go here. The events that affected Vshojo's
I lost track.
Iron Mouse came as a major shock to the Japanese team as
Okay.
well. We were completely unaware of the internal situation until recently. Well, now, obviously, I will say this in his defense. I do think he's not in charge of finances. So I don't think this man was in charge of the financing or the accounting, because that would be weird. He's more like a JP assistant manager, of the JP branch. So that wouldn't be in charge of the overall financial. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
So they're just to work, right?
Come up something that would change my mind on that. We could get further discovery or evidence that makes him comfortable.
Oh my God, another week of Vshojo, huh?
Benefit of the doubt. Going on, we were unaware of the situation. Financial management was entirely under control of the U.S. headquarters, which I would agree.
Okay.
And neither
Makes sense.
Japan branch president, there was no real branch, remember this is an internal distinction,
Okay.
nor I were informed that payments to Japan-based talents were outstanding. This part, I don't believe.
Okay.
I believe the talents probably complained to him. This, I think, is the lie. I think the talents probably told him that they're not. If he's in charge of the talent, the talents probably at some point told him they're not getting paid. Hey, we're not getting paid. They probably told somebody or somebody under him.
Somebody's lying.
I think that's not true.
Somebody's lying here.
I think that's not true. We are deeply frustrated such a decision was made despite the ability to pay those payments. I initially joined Vshojo to assist with fundraising efforts, but during investment negotiations, I grew suspicious when critical financial documents were not provided by upper management. That is a huge red flag.
Okay.
I now understand that this is intentionally concealed. From early on, there were numerous concerns about the company's management, and the Japan branch president and I were exploring the possibility of operational separation, but it was already too late.
Ooh.
I feel profound disappointment regarding the series of events at Vshojo. At the same time, it will continue to provide as such support as possible to ensure that former talents can continue their activities with peace of mind. Thank you for reading this to the end. Please feel free to reach out with concerns and questions. Alex Kiyoshi. Well, Alex, my question to you is, are you willing to give up your salary and pay back some of those talents? Because if you feel responsible for the Japanese branch, if you're really somebody who's somebody who feels personally responsible,
I wonder what's happening over there.
What skin is in the game for you, Alex? Why don't you give them some of your money? Why don't you turn over some of that to the talents? Because obviously you're getting paid when they weren't. Everybody at that corporation.
That's what I'm wondering.
Taking a haircut, including you. So I don't let Alex off the hook here. I don't give Alex a free pass.
Yeah, everyone's accountable right now.
Management is responsible as well.
Everyone's accountable.
There are things they could have done. Certainly, if the talents were telling him, hey, we're not getting paid, and I'm sure at a certain point he knew they weren't getting paid, because I'm sure they were telling people that were close to them they weren't getting paid.
I mean, literally.
Big deal.
You
got to take a haircut on that.
Somebody is sorry.
The term haircut. Haircut means a reduction, right? So your salary is $100,000 a year. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to give up $25,000 to pay the talents that are under me, and that's going to personally go to them.
Okay, so as a non-legalese person, this is how I simply personify in my head. JP branch person literally possibly knew and was not giving a pay cut. Now the question is, when I say pay cut, does that mean that he had no choice but to keep it? Look, I'm gonna give a benefit of the doubt here. Is that maybe the branch, the English branch, would say, hey, no, everyone's gonna get paid full. You don't pay the talents. Don't, because if they find out that we're not paying anybody, that's gonna be a problem. That's what I think. That's why he wasn't getting a pay cut. That's me thinking of that. I'm not saying that he didn't know. I'm not saying he was in the dark. I'm just saying that, to me, that's what I think maybe possibly happened. Maybe he did know and was intentionally keeping the money, or maybe he didn't know and then he basically would say, hey, was basically telling his talents, yeah, don't worry, you're gonna get paid everything, but he wasn't able to give away his money because he didn't want to get in trouble with the main branch. But that's just me. Like I said, I'm not a legal lawyer. All I know is I just give my 2 cents of different perspectives here, and I probably made no sense somewhere around the line. So let's continue on. Continue on, legal.
Instead of me taking that salary, if you're really responsible, you want to step up, put up or shut up. And that's my personal thing. And of course, I believe the gun run should have been taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
I believe the upper COO should have been
Everyone should have been getting a pay cut for
this. Should be taking a reduction and paying that to the talents. That's true responsibility. And I've seen that happen at corporations. I've seen that happen at major corporations. It's not impossible. It's not difficult. And it's still possible now if you really wanted to make it right. Or even better, if you don't want to pay the talents, donate to the Immune Deficiency Fund. There you go. Or foundation, right? Iron Mouse's charity. Donate to them. Show some skin in the game that you feel responsible and culpable for this. And you know that something wrong went on. And it was wrong that you were being paid when these talents were going without $1 in the bank account. And of course, these talents are often young and often people that are exploited in the job market. Guys, let me know anything in the comments below, and I will catch you on.
Okay. All right, we're gonna sit there. So yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. If this is all factual, if this is all things, like he may be lying, the person that made the line may be lying, because I agree with him that he should have taken a pay cut. The question is, would he be told not to take a pay cut on fear of legal, processes? Because if he was able to take a pay cut, he would just do it and just, here you go, you're not getting paid because the main president asked, so I'm gonna cut my pay and gonna give it to you guys because you need to get paid here, and I feel like you deserve the pay. But if he was not able to, because the main branch like Gunra said, no, we can't let them know they're not getting paid. Just tell them that we need them to stop it, right? All right, just don't tell them that, okay? Or else we will do some lawsuit thing to basically ruin your reputation. That's to me. I'm just giving benefit of the doubt here because he's saying he does regret it, but in the end of the day, we don't know. Maybe more information will come along. Who knows? But right now, that's about it for this video. We're going to move on to the next one, which involves the payment processes right now. Yes, I know. It's not all about Vshojo in the episode. I wanted to, like, at least get something out of it. Get something so we're not, like, constantly talking about Vshojo in this episode. Alright. So that's about it. Leave the comments for this situation down below. Alright? Alright, be back, and I'll see you on Rev's channel. Alright, I'm back. Okay, we're back on the back on the channel, back to the video. And this one is about, we're on Rev's Desu this time, and this time it's about Visa's getting what they deserve. They're helping Spencer, thousands of problematic gamers. There's also a good MasterCard. Yeah, and rightfully so, because literally, why the heck do they decide to freaking tell me that I cannot purchase something? That is insane. At that point, we might as well just start stealing things at this point if they want to keep doing that. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying at that point, we might as well just start robbing stuff. Because if they're telling us I can't do this, then I might as well go steal it. But don't do that, please. Don't. Do not steal anything. All right, back on topic. If you don't know what's happening right now, I'm gonna let you know. I've been following this for a little bit, watching other content creators talk about this. I want to talk about this myself, but the whole Vshojo situation started, so I decided, put this in the video. I was gonna talk about next week, but hey, put it alongside Vshojo news because I don't think I was able to do anything with that video. I just wanted to react to that just to let you know what's going on. Alright, right now, if you don't know what's happening, currently, Visa and Mastercard are trying to censor games, going after Gooner games. The games that me and you play, where we get to see a lady walking around, basically with skin-tight clothes or walking around with nothing at all. That's literally, Steam has got taken out right now. It's currently had to default that because, of course, their payment processors, they're part of that. And also, itch.io is getting closer. But also, the problem is that people think it's just the Gooner games, doesn't matter. The problem is, no, it should matter because many other games are starting to get hit that aren't even Gooner games. For example, on itch.io, I think Mouthwash, I think that horror game got hit for some reason, which didn't have anything involving it. Which is a problem because if they're going to try to censor that, that means any game is fair game to them to censor. Now that is a problem. Seriously, I want to play my games. Play my games. If some company, if some payment master, some card company says I can't, then they have lost their minds. Seriously. So if you want more information, just look it up. It's like all over right now. It's like, God, it's way out of control. Seriously, if I want to play a freaking off-brand game, a Gooner game, I should be allowed to play. I mean, I don't want to go on. And plus, I'm scared that because it's just Steam right now. What happens if they go after consoles next? At that point, most of my games will be delisted. And the problem with that one, that involves if that gets taken down, does that mean I lose them out of my library? Because you gotta remember, if they have to take those down, how far does that freaking takedown go? Think on that. Seriously. And not only that, it's supposed to be against the censors things. It's only a matter of time before other people decide, you know what? I'm going to start censoring other adult games which involve shooting. Think on that. And I don't remember the corporation that's trying to force these payment softwares to do, so let me know in the comments who they are, because I completely forgot and I refuse to acknowledge them because they're idiots. And yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think about the situation and what other information. But right now we're going to be celebrating because, of course, MasterCard, Visa, you're getting what you deserve. Seriously, what did you think was going to happen? Look at that. Gary sending mass emails that focus the major payment process and protest over Steam and Ditch.io. Exactly. That is what I like. This is what happens when you go after people's things. This is what happens when you try to control people to do what they want. This is like what happened in Australia. I think, what was it? Blue Archive? Didn't I don't know if it was the government or part of the government tried to ban Blue Archive. But guess what happened? The Australian people over there, the people that like playing that game, literally dug up some dirt on them and basically found out that most of them had scandals behind them, and now they're out of office. And and the banning of that game was never promised ever again. So yeah, I think we need some kind of thing happening over everywhere else, because literally, if these people think they can control us, we need to remind them that, hey, you think that, but remember, there's ways to find out your dirty secrets. All right, whatever. Either way, I'm glad for this. Let's continue on. Rev, take it away. Sorry I had to take that tangent. I may pause it a few times, but who knows. Continue on.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here.
What's up?
So I don't know about you, but it feels like we're entering a new era of censorship.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's the new age verification system,
which is idiotic.
To effect in the UK,
which is idiotic.
Looming ban on VPNs that also is existing in the UK, or the
wait, there's actually true? I thought that was just a joke. You're telling me that the VPN ban is going to be happening in UK? What? Are you serious? I thought that was a joke. God dang it. UK, what is going? Do you know? It's only a matter of time before the people over there are going to lose their minds. They're pushing back too far. They're legitimately pushing too far. Trust me. Trust me. The people can only take so much before they decide, you know, I've had enough and enough. Hopefully, in a peaceful manner, they need some Australian people to go over there and start digging up some dirt. Continue on. Sorry.
Fact that similar bills are being introduced to the United States.
There's a collective here.
Thousands of games have been banned across multiple platforms. It really feels like censorship is ramping up at
6-9
rate.
Nice.
Now, when anyone says, you know, woke is dead or censorship is dead, they're not seeing the full picture. This stuff is still alive as ever.
Oh yeah, it's always
is being pushed extremely hard right now.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this, Renat. It doesn't matter what people think. If censorship it says the censorship is dead. No, that is not a fact. There will always be those points in time where all of a sudden censorship will start being brought up, no matter what. Why? For controlling the populace. To try. Look, I don't do political stuff here, but when there's something that involves that potentially can cause problems, I may be political. I start doing political stuff. For example, we both know this is about controlling the masses. Whether it's the government, whether it's the companies or not, it's about controlling my life and to dictate how I live. I'm going to let you know this now. If the people are, if a company decides to freaking tell me that I can't do this, then they can kiss my right butt cheek and have to deal with the consequences, because there's going to be a lot of people going, like, do things like this. Not violently, peacefully, to basically let people know that, hey, are you serious? No. You can't do that, and you're going to see what happens when something happens. Like I said, Australia felt that, and the rest of the world is going to have to feel that. Trust me, it's only a matter of time. Revolutions start small, in a peaceful way, but these days in revolution, we don't use violence until the government decides to go too far. And then, look, I'm not advocating, but if they don't listen, hey, I'm not saying, but people get pissed off to the point where they're not being listened to. All right, continue on.
Now, and you can see there's pushback.
Oh yeah.
Visa and Mastercard are getting overwhelmed.
I bet.
Gamer fury over censorship.
I bet.
That happens after thousands of games have been banned thanks to the efforts of small groups that are targeting these payment processors and making them put pressure on these platforms to ban certain games.
They gotta choose a
and
side
it's
now.
working, and that is the part that is really scary.
Oh yeah.
It's not just the 18+ hentai games or stuff like that.
No, it's not.
Also horror games. That's the development we're looking at today.
Horror games are getting targeted. That's what I just talked about.
Look at when it comes to Collective Shout, the main group.
That's them.
All this.
The idiots.
As far as to start making these vague threats against content creators who dare to call out their lies and be.
Oh, dear God, what are they doing? Are they really going to challenge content creators? May God have mercy upon their souls. The Collective Shout people. Because they have no idea the Pandora's box they're going to be doing. If they are literally going to try to go call out these people, the amount of... Do you realize how many fans there are with a content creator? The amount of fans they are, the amount of subscribers there that will literally rally to the defense of their favorite content creator is enormous. Seriously, we've seen it so many times. Basically, many companies have been pushed back thanks to the content creators' subscribers in a peaceful manner, in a just way, in a deserved way. Now, I'm not saying you should advocate like, oh, we should attack everybody. No. No. Not everyone deserves to be attacked. I'm just saying that when the time comes, when the enemies when people like Collective Shout want to start trying to tell us what to do, oh my God, it's gonna be bad. All I know is that Collective Shout is gonna be opening a Pandora's box, and if they're going to start going after, they have no idea how many people are against this. Content creators are just one person, but their fan base are enormous. Trust me. It means just one can change the course. Just one content creator can start off a whole storm. And then when more begin, oi! Collective Shout! You should probably step back. You're going to get to the point of causing too much havoc.
Yes. Now, it's not all doom and gloom today.
Yes.
Here's a good piece of news before we get into today's topic. So, many of you are already aware I have a summer drop with Advanced GG that just launched a couple days ago.
You can go to the link. You can go, not to my video, on his video.
Rev20 at checkout.
I'll traffic to him.
You'll get 20% off your order from these items. And you can see I got my new flavor jars, the Revs Shark Bait Lemonade flavor here. Revs Rocket Pop has returned with a new label. This is a fan favorite flavor. And then we have Revs Based Berry Blast, which is a new flavor. It's berry based, obviously.
Based.
And you can see those 3 flavor jars, and also some new clothing as well. This is new stuff here. You can pre-order, and also one of our ice shakers have been brought back, so you can pair it up with a flavor jar if you so choose.
That's pretty cool.
I'll put a link to this in the comment.
I didn't know they had a mobile app.
Code REV20 at checkout to save 20% off this new drop.
Sweet.
All the support on this is greatly appreciated, and it leads to future campaigns as well. Thanks, guys, for the big support on this.
So,
now let's get back into today's
topic.
into the news.
So,
about a week
yes.
About this group.
This is AI.
Shout. In their description, they say a grassroots campaign movement against the objectification of women and sexualization of girls in media, advertising, and popular culture. This is a very small group of feminists based out of Australia who, after many years
how did they survive there?
Victories, all of a sudden claims responsibility for thousands of games being banned across multiple platforms.
My God.
And as you can see,
their accounts see that? Look at that!
Because they're losing the plot. They're losing the war on social media.
Take that!
Free speech campaign where people are criticizing them, they're getting hammered.
I bet.
Directly through this account or their employees, they're getting smashed.
Again, there's not, you can't get away.
But people trying to push their agenda.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this now. Even if they can't get targeted on this account, they're gonna trust me. Any accounts any of the employees or them have, trust me, they're gonna have to pause everything. They will literally have no choice but to basically private every single one of the accounts, just so they won't be able to be targeted by, in the comments by everybody who basically, well-deserved hate them. Seriously, trying to tell me that I can't watch a girl running around with her freaking chest out is bad, and is very bad. Dude, I'm a red-blooded man. Come on. Plus, not just me, but girls want to see freaking ladies walking around like that. Come on, people. I mean, I think we all want to see that. Seriously, it's getting out of control with the censorship. All right, continue on. Sorry, Ref.
Agenda. They are masquerading as some sort of effort to save young girls from exploitation.
Isn't this AI background up there?
Their efforts don't line up with what they're doing.
The collect the shout thing.
Way more importance on video.
Sorry, I know Rev is talking about, but I'm so distracted. Is this AI? This looks like AI to me. Can somebody tell me? Can somebody check on this? Because this, for some reason, looks like an AI background. But then again, I haven't seen this background at all. This is my first time seeing this, so who knows? Continue on, Rev. Sorry about that. We're gonna push back a bit just to get on the topic here. Sorry. All right.
Or their employees, they're getting smashed because they are nothing but people trying to push their agenda. They are masquerading as some sort of effort to save young girls from exploitation, but in reality, their efforts don't line up with what they're doing. In fact, they put way more importance on video games than they do protecting actual children. This is a farce. This is their attempt at controlling the narrative and getting games banned.
If you really want to do something, protect actual children.
Including horror games, as we will see in just a moment.
Jesus.
Basically, Collective Shout is a useful idiot. Basically, they opened the door. They somehow found the golden way of approaching these bans, and that is putting pressure on payment processors.
But here's the problem here, because they think right now they got the golden ticket for the time being, but as you saw in the beginning, people are basically calling into Master and Visa, and I bet you some of them are trolls just to keep up the lines in protest. Just so that people would they have no choice but to think that, oh, it's probably somebody coming about their card situation, about the bank situation. Yeah, MasterCard, Visa, you're going to have to choose a side here. Because right now, if you want to keep trying to get calls from the people, you're going to need to choose a side here, Visa, MasterCard. Right, it's going to get to the point where they're not going to be able to hold on for very long. Right now, they're holding. But the amount of people, and plus, let's let you know, this is worldwide, so unless they're planning to deal with a worldwide thing, it's gonna be problematic. I think Japan is currently going after them too. I have no idea. Let me know in the comments if that's true or not. But either way, Visa, MasterCard, well, hopefully your wall can hold, because by the end of it, it's gonna break. It's gonna break. Continue on.
Now the floodgates have opened, and everyone's jumping in the door they just opened. And they just opened, and now, well, games are getting banned
left and right,
thousands, and things are looking
getting out of control.
Really bad. Like I said,
it's getting bad here.
Small victories over the years. I mean, this was something they celebrated for a long time. Getting Target Kmart to remove GTA 5 from their stores.
Are you serious?
Australia. Now, all these efforts were laughed at because the main account, as well as several of the employees of Collective Shout,
this one
defended the Netflix film Cuties, which has sexually exploited hundreds of children in its filming. In fact, you can see from the main account saying it's a powerful protest against the sexualization of girls. And how did Cuties achieve that goal? By sexually exploiting real children. It's literally a movie about 11 to 12-year-old kids doing a twerk off while wearing skimpy clothing.
How in the heck that managed?
It's exploitative material. And they defend that, but they want to ban games like GTA and even horror games, as we will see today. So
it's idiotic.
Like I said, for years they were largely ignored, but they came up with a new strategy.
For the time being.
Pressure on Visa and MasterCard. In case you don't know, payment processors.
It's the ugly girlfriend.
If you lose Visa and MasterCard, if they remove their services from your platform, you're going broke. You've lost basically your entire monetization just like that.
For now.
People like myself, I hate to be like the person who said I told you so. This happened in Japan about 2 years ago. That's when it started. When we saw this pattern and no one cared.
Wait,
a lot of people were basically saying, oh, well, who cares? The stupid hentai games have now been removed from stores and catalogs, what have you. And now it's expanding way beyond just that. And the people who are cheering on that censorship are going, whoa, wait a second.
Exactly.
This isn't good.
Now people are starting to realize it, huh? Now, huh? Seriously, now. To me, I'm surprised how people... I used to think that way, like, oh, it's only happening here, so I don't care. And nowadays, I'm woken up to, oh, wait, if it happens here, it's going to happen somewhere else. Seriously, do you think the world revolves around just one just the size? Do you know just the 7? No, you got to remember, nowadays the world is so connected that if something happens in one area, it's going to happen in another area if it's successful. If it's successful here, I mean, like video games. When something passes, like for example, for video game guys that try to scam us out of money every 5 seconds, if it succeeds there, guess what happens around the world? Every other company that wants to make money, greedily make money, they will literally follow the blueprint. I mean, how do you think basically Battle Pass came to be? How do you think the skins, the downloadable content for skins? Remember the horse meme? The Oblivion horse meme? Yeah, that one basically was an unintentional, was an act, was just just for fun, but then all of a sudden it exploded. Trust me, if it happens one area, you bet your butt, sooner or later it's gonna happen everywhere else. You just gotta be vigilant and just say, hey, this is not right. I understand this, but you need to leave. But you can do it. It's your area, it's your territory. But I don't want to see anyone else doing that. You gotta be ready for that. Okay, sorry. Continue on.
Now, this strategy has been extremely effective for Collective Shout. A very small group that should have no influence whatsoever has somehow gotten thousands of games banned in a very short period of time using this new strategy, and it's completely ridiculous. And even Steam is feeling the pressure. They've made a new rule stating this.
Which is idiotic.
Content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks or internet network providers, in particular, certain kinds of adult-only content, and that is very vague.
That's broad, vague.
Guess what? It's backfiring, and it's being applied to way more than people initially thought. I mean,
it's going everywhere.
Yeah, all the people who were cheering on all these
previous... The Just Go Watch porn crowd, when their ethical Yuri stop porn VNs get banned alongside the Instant Rape games, ape games. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Really? Okay. Yeah, exactly. You're watching this, and guess what? Oh no! Guess what's happening? Your other stuff. Yeah, I want to see freaking some of these games. Heck, that doesn't mean I'm gonna play them. But if I have to lose everything to not be able to see a girl rocking around with some, in the buff, then why the heck? Sorry. So I lost my train of thought. But I want to see a girl walking around in freaking in a game with with just barely a top on. Seriously, I want to see that. You basically and yet people are celebrating this for some reason, and now all of a sudden their games are starting to get banned. Now they're starting to realize, oh wait, hold up, hold up. Yeah. First of all, people, if you're celebrating these kind of things, just remember, there's a fine line with celebrating and realizing what happened. There's a fine line between celebrating and realizing that something bad's about to happen.
Bans, especially Japanese games, are now going, oh, wait a second, you're banning my ethical, totally normal games that also contain mature content. Yeah. And now they're trying to complain about it, but it might be just a little too late.
Yeah.
But anyways,
too late, man.
Another target of
it's that
these pro-censorship groups is itch.io, an open indie game marketplace. They're feeling the heat quite significantly. In fact, the campaign against them is so ridiculous. Even PC Gamer, who's usually the kind of slop place saying the worst takes ever about gaming, even they recognize how ridiculous this is and how this is not going to accomplish anything.
I have to say, when PC Gamer, who basically decides to side with and try to destroy other games because they become famous and for some reason have not figured it out that literally doing that just makes it more popular, that even they are saying, this is getting too far. What the heck is going on?
To protect women, like Collective Shout claims it will, and that basically this is going to result in a new sort of sidestepping of these platforms and rules into other places where they can still just keep on selling their games. But like I said, it's not just the gooner bait games, as people will say.
Yeah.
We now have horror games getting caught in the mix. This post
get out of control.
Exhumed is banned on Steam.
I have no idea what that is. Oh, there you go. Fear and Hunger.
In just a second. And then 3, Fear and Hunger shadow banned on itch.io. So there are horror games getting banned on Steam and shadow banned on itch.io.
It's idiotic.
This is a very concerning thing. And honestly, the natural conclusion of everything we've been talking about, this is how it's going to work. It's going to keep extending and extending and extending. And now some people are like, whoa, what's going on here? Well,
yeah,
people have been calling this out for years, and it got
but nobody was listening.
Now, of course, we have to talk about mouthwashing. On this post,
sorry, Nat happened there.
It has removed. I don't blame this person because there was a lot of misinformation going on.
Okay.
In fact, I'm glad I didn't talk about this yesterday.
Wait, are you serious?
Something else because
never mind the mouthwash. Wait, mouthwash did it get removed?
Mouthwashing is an.
Did it get removed?
It was a norm.
Okay, so I need to know, did it get removed or not? Because I thought, because I just talked about in the beginning that it got removed. So it didn't? Yeah, I just spread information right there. Okay, just let people know. I have no idea right now. We're going to see if mouthwashing is still up and running. Ignore what I said in the beginning about mouthwash.
Obviously successful. And
it was a pretty good game.
It came with an interesting set of controversies involving one of the people who worked on this game, as we will see in just a second.
Okay.
This is the person right here, Martin, who said that yesterday mouthwashing got yoinks from itch search results.
Okay.
So saying it's been shadow banned.
Okay.
And down here says, not surprised. Was kind of waiting for it to happen. And then someone asked, wait, why? And this is very important.
All right, here you go.
It says, payment processors like Mastercard/Visa have been pushed by an activist group, Collective Shout, to deplatform not safe for work content on many major platforms, including itch. Collective Shout has tried to go after Steam, but were unsuccessful, so they started targeting payment processors instead. This paints a very clear picture that the payment processors were responsible for.
First of all, why in the name of everything are they controlling my money? Well, I know they're the banks, but why the heck are they telling me what to do? They should not have the power to do this. Now, if it's illegal, of course that'd be bad. Of course they need to of course they need to ban that. But why are they stopping me from buying something that's about faking me looking at a girl running around fighting enemies in the buff? There's games about that. Seriously. I am allowed to do that. It's my money. I spend it however I want to. If I want to buy a game with me fighting enemies in a skin-tight outfit, that's my responsibility. That's my decision. It shouldn't be the paying processor's decision. It's mine. Seriously. It's idiotic. No way in heck. I had to freaking talk about with even I talked about this with Mom and I a bit, and she was kind of confused by explaining it to her, and she even said, "Yeah, you're right. Why the heck are they controlling your stuff? I mean, you're allowed to do that. I mean, I don't support the thing. I don't want to see that, but even she's figured out. But that's your right to do what you want with the money. Seriously, what is going on?"
This removes Collective Shout through the payment processors.
Okay.
And things will get complicated. Number one.
Okay.
Because people like Hypnotic or Grum's reporting on this are seeing their posts about it getting restricted, which has to do with the new UK age verification.
Are they all working together?
That's a topic for another day. It's very complicated.
I know it's a pain in the butt.
Spread and unintended. I was going to say unintended results. I think these results are very intended, but we'll talk about that.
Are these all? I feel like they're all working together somehow.
Now, going back to Martin here, he's someone who worked on the audio and music of mouthwashing, and he originally left a bad taste in the mouth, no pun intended, of many people who were playing this game or were interested in playing this game, because when Asmongold made a video, not only
that's right,
artists being harassed for making artwork of a character that people thought was problematic, he also went out and played the game and really enjoyed it and promoted it to his audience. And this is how Martin, as a member of the team, made the game,
I'm focusing on the screen right now.
The anti-woke crowd has found the game, and I feel sick to my effing stomach. Being on Twitter is going to be unbelievably painful from now on. That I don't know if I can be active on here. I don't have the energy.
Why are you complaining
for this? Well, unfortunately, things got more complicated yesterday. When itch.io on Blue Sky as well as on Twitter made it very clear.
Sorry, Nat.
Mouthwashing has not been indexed.
October
of 2024, since it doesn't meet their indexing criteria. And they're using a download button as a link to Steam. The developer took down any playable files from this page
so
in
what's it taking down?
2024. So it has been basically a year since this game was down on itch.io.
Okay, so ignore everything I said about mouthwashing being taken down. because I thought that was recent. So ignore what I just said. All right, I thought it was recent when they taken down. Okay, so sorry for saying misinformation right there. All right, continue on, Rev. Sorry about that.
So way before any of this stuff involving Collective Shout. And of course, Martin would come on later and try to correct the record, saying that the delisting narrative he was sharing turned out to be false. Good on him for correcting the record.
At least he did that.
But a lot of people were rallying behind him. Because despite his previous comments about Asmongold and other people anti-woke, people said, hey, you know what? We might not like those comments, but what's happening with Collective Shout and mouthwashing, that's not cool. Okay? Even though you disagree with some of the things he said, his game should still be allowed to exist without being.
It should be, but now I know the truth.
The record's been corrected, and that's not what happened. And now it's just confusing because there's only really two
What's happening
results. Here? Either people like Martin were just not paying attention at all and somehow didn't realize this game wasn't even there for a year, basically, or they were trying to frame this in a way that made them look like a victim of Collective Shout.
One way or another.
Agenda. Either way, it's not a great look.
No, it's not.
But at the end of the day, let's make this very clear.
Yes?
Just because mouthwashing was not a victim of this campaign,
it was,
there were other horror games that...
All right, there you go.
They're getting
now we got it.
On itch.io, banned on Steam. It's happening.
It's everywhere.
So just because mouthwashing is not a part of that does not erase what's happening right before our eyes. And Collective Shout...
It's only a matter of time before they get the consoles.
Of what they're
They didn't kiss my booty cheeks.
They made
kiss my butt
Steam
cheeks.
campaign timeline.
Are you serious?
In response to false claims and misinformation about our campaign, we're setting the record straight. Some have asked why we involved payment process.
Why did you involve them?
Claimed we are responsible for itch.io removing all not safe for work content. We raised our objection to R-word and incest games on Steam for months, and they
you guys suck.
Us for months. Good.
Yeah, good. Good.
We approached payment processors because Steam did not respond.
So basically,
to us.
You were trying to find a way.
Itch.io to remove R-word and games that we argued normalize violence and abuse of women. Itch.io.
It's a game.
Made the decision to remove all not safe for work content. Our objections were to content that involved sexualized violence and of women. So here they are once again making claims with no evidence about how this is leading to people being harmed and
exactly.
These things.
It's the mental people that are doing that stuff out.
Of what they're doing, they're claiming this as a victory.
It's only a matter of time. How long is this episode?
Going after payment processors.
It's only a matter of time.
And also, they were able to bully itch.io into removing all their not safe for work content, which is cascading into places where
it's getting out of control.
Really expect, including horror games.
It's getting out of control.
Was something they wanted to bully, they couldn't. So, like a hall monitor, they went to the payment processors and went through them instead. And unfortunately,
anyways, they went to them, cried and whined as much better, like a whining little baby child, and say, hey, look at that. It's just they started crying and whining like little babies that they are. Just doing that, just faking it until they listen. Yep, there you go. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but hey, they did it. They whined and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried some more until they were heard. Collective Shout is a piece of excrement for me, and they suck too that they're freaking going after. Seriously, what in the name of everything makes sense for them to go after my livelihood? I mean, does that mean I won't be able to play my video games anymore? I mean, think about it. There's games coming out that could be very good. There's other games that could be under the banner of a not safe adult thing, not safe because these idiots over here Collective Shout. I mean, does that mean I won't be able to basically play those games? Does that mean that? I mean, look how much content is on the YouTube already. Does that mean all those have to be taken down? Seriously. Whatever. Continue on. Sorry, Rev.
Works. Now, there's something else very interesting going on with Collective Shout. As Bounding into Comics reports here, Collective Shout's staff are now stockpiling personal and family data on creators Smash JT and Madam Savvy and more. We need more evidence of these mafia-like tactics. Please keep an eye out for attempts from Collective Shout to dox their operation.
Are you serious?
Fear is the only tactic they can trust. And that is something they have been doing. Through this individual, this L.S. Kennedy, who is in
Jesus.
ethics, compliance, supply chain,
Ethics?
corp governance and behavior.
What
blah,
the
blah,
heck?
Blah, blah,
Your
who worked
ethics?
For Collective Shout as a campaigner.
Ethical,
now,
huh?
Crashing out nonstop
I
on
bet.
Twitter. I swear, almost
bet.
every single thing this person says, it's ratioed into the shadow realm, and
What
also
is
gets
happening
hit
here?
with a community note dispelling the lies they're sharing. And they make this
Uh-huh.
long claim attacking Savvy in particular, basically saying she's lying, she's doing all this stuff wrong. And as you can see,
There you go.
in the notes, the screenshots in question all bore connection to Savvy's arguments and were not at all dishonest or false whatsoever. No bullying was involved, only the spreading of public information.
Okay, there you go. See that?
Yeah, Savvy's been doing a lot of work exposing what's going on with Collective Shout.
That's
They
good.
don't
That's
like
good.
That, so they call her a liar.
Well, too bad for them.
Proof. If you want to go through it yourself,
The-
do as you please.
Do you know what? The show should do more. Should do more to try to cause problems. Because the more they do, the more they try to start something. For example, like the what was that? The Streisand effect. I think that was what it was called. I forgot what it was called. But the more you try to do something, the more you try to hide it, the more you try to freaking stop something, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Like where she tried to hide her house, and all of a sudden everybody knows where she lived, knows where this house lived. It's a beach house, I think. Like no one cared until she decided to basically try to talk to him. No one gave an F. But she made a big deal of it. I mean, Collective Shout should do more to make a big deal of it. I mean, seriously. It's only a matter of time before they get to the point where they're not able to do anything and they literally have no choice but to, like, fall back. I mean, think about it. Only a matter of time. I'm just saying. I may be wrong, but who knows? Somebody correct that for me if you can. I have no idea. I'm just looking at this. Continue on. Sorry, Rev.
But it's very obvious she's raising valid concerns and
Yes.
valid points
Yes.
based on public posts. And this person's trying to deny it. And look at it.
Oh, let's see. Here you go.
36 likes versus 200 plus quotes dunking on it.
Nice.
And then down here, they say,
Okay.
as for our records, citing advocate for the pro game illegal content gaming crowd.
First of all, what is this? My brain is starting. What is going on here? What is that? Look. Wait, what are you doing? What is this writing? What is this? What is this writing? I mean, did you see the beginning of this? What is the writing here? Write English.
Madam Savvy and Smash JT rubbished our winning campaign, calling Brumbies
Why is
Bakery
that?
to ditch a sexist slogan, workplace uniform tees, which put young female employees at the risk of sexual harassment. Yeah, they targeted a local bakery that had a shirt that said "the best buns in town," of course, referring to bread.
Yeah.
A little joke, and they relentlessly went after them and were successful in
unfortunately
bullying this small company into changing their ways. But down here, do Madam Savvy and married and father Smash JT think it's okay for employers to facilitate and invite the sexual harassment of girls in the workplace?
Okay.
Sounds like a bit of a threat, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're planning to do whatever they want.
Including this, what are you trying to imply?
Yeah, what is happening here?
You're definitely making a very vague threat towards these individuals, and that's not surprising. That's how these people operate. They operate on fear.
Yeah, but the problem is, the more fear they produce, the more people are just gonna get tired of it and just, you know what? I've had enough of this. Shut up, be quiet, and trust me. At certain points, when fear gets too overwhelming, there's gonna be some people say, hey, enough of this. I mean, I'm getting sick and tired of this. What the heck are you doing? I'm getting sick and tired of this, and they're just gonna start, and people are gonna start fighting back. Trust me, it's only a matter of time.
Make you feel unsafe, and that's what they do. It's disgusting. And of course, they're mad at people like Savvy because they've been sharing information like this, that you can submit complaints about these companies to them. And that's something they're legally required to have available for people. And guess what? It's working. Because
there you go.
Mastercard
Here's some good news.
Overwhelmed.
I
by
bet.
the amount of emails and phone calls being made.
I bet.
And if you want to do these routes,
I have to say this right now. I bet you it's only a matter of time before some places are going to start having their PCs crash because they're just too much. It's going to be too much.
All I ask is that you be respectful.
Yes.
You have a plan, right?
Uh-huh.
You actually have something to say, a valid point, or
Yeah,
criticism,
please,
or a set of questions.
Please. I know I've been saying in the beginning, like out of comments here, but also I have to say is that please be respectful. I know this well-deserved hate, but please be respectful. I leave it at the end because if I say in the beginning, by the time it gets over here, I think people would have forgotten. So yes, please be respectful. Do not go sending hate. I know I said something about trolls, but please actually have some idea what you're planning to do. Please don't send hate because the hate would just backfire on us instead. All right, be calm, get some calm, collected, and let them your complaints. All I know is by the end of this, Visa and Mastercard will have two choices here. Two choices. Either they double down on this, which is going to cause way more problems than they want, or they basically go against collective shout and you know what? We heard your complaints. We're not gonna say we rescind that problem. We're gonna rescind that. We're done. No, we're not gonna continue on. It's all seriously. It's that easy. Just choose one or the other. Either way, the other one is pretty much a guarantee for you to not have this much complaints happening to you at once. All right, continue.
You do it in the most professional manner you can.
Yes.
Because just calling up and saying a bunch of nonsense isn't going to help anything.
It's not.
But if you make a solid inquiry on what's going on here, I think you can do some really good things and help push back. Because
the calm and collective
as they
will win.
bullied these companies and these platforms into doing their will, the same thing can be done to remedy it as well.
Yep.
If you complain enough, something should happen. It's not a guarantee, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah. It's on a matter
So
of
it's
time.
going to be a long road. There's a lot going on. Like I said, it feels like we're in a new era of censorship, and there's so much more to talk about.
The battle begins.
In the coming days, but this already was dragging on for almost 20 minutes. So
yeah.
end it here. So as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
All right then. See you next time, Rev. But yeah, exactly. As I said before, this is just getting out of hand. I mean, what? And this is, and yes, this is at least some good news because we got some people like actually complaining to them because literally it's my life. I am allowed to spend my money wherever I want. If I want to pay for basically a game where I get to freaking look at a female walking around, playing in the water in a bikini, then I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to see that. I'm allowed to pay for that. Seriously. And this also, I said this before, but what happens if they do delist it and you have it in your library? Does that mean I don't own it anymore? Does that mean I'm not able to, play it anymore? Seriously, think about that. Think on that. Because at that point, it basically goes back to the stop killing games thing. I mean, at this point, I think most of these things are starting to get to the point of connecting to each other. I'm not saying this is connected, but right now, everything is starting to get getting too strangely connected. We got the UK banning some stuff. We got the US trying to begin a banning thing when they pass that paper, if they ever, hopefully they don't pass it. And now we got freaking Collective Shout basically starting to make bully processors into not, to basically make other people follow the rules. I mean, and what's more is that this goes into the, and now Stop Killing Games is starting to enter the field here by unintentional means because Stop Killing Games is trying to, I know this doesn't have anything to do with this, but I just need to say that this is basically trying to stop games from disappearing. Right? To at least have some form. Now, not forever, like Live Source Games. We're not asking for them to basically do it forever. We just need them to tell us, just to give us give us a way to basically make sure that we're able to play them even if we're offline. That's what I'm just saying. You can go. I'm just saying that's entirely a different issue, but I'm just bringing this up to let people know is that does not mean that these paid processors bullying are basically telling these other places where I spend my money like Steam. Does that mean that gets taken off my library? I mean, think about that. At that point, it goes into that territory. All these things are getting too connected somehow. They're getting too strangely connected, and if something tells me that they're all working together in some way, I don't know how, except Stop Killing Games. I don't know how, but something tells me there's somebody's talking to someone, and these are all happening way too frequently. I don't know what's going on, but you can call me a conspiracy theorist, but something tells me they're all working together somehow. And like I said, if this keeps up, that means Stop Killing Games is getting to the point where, yeah, it's going to get to the issue of, well, I lost my library. I lost my entire library because I purchased on Steam, and now thanks to Visa and Mastercard, I can no longer play them because they were now banned off the site. Now, let me know in the comments if that's true. Let me know in the comments if that does get into Stop Killing Games territory, because this is getting out of control real bad. This is getting out of control. And like I said, I don't like it, but these things are starting to get too connected to each other, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. Alright, whatever. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about the situation. Do you think that Vshojo that thinks that the Japan branch knew what was going on? Do you think that basically he should have been paying the employees his own pay, which I think he should have? Or do you think he didn't know anything and he just didn't know anything and he was just like, sorry, I had no idea? Or do you think that the main branch, EN, was telling him, no, don't tell him anything because they'll expose us, that we're not able to get money, that we're not profitable? Somebody over there is lying. But let me know in that situation. And also in this situation, let me know what's going on in this situation. Do you think this is all connected? Do you think they're not just coincidental? Do you think it's a conspiracy? I'm a conspiracy theorist for even thinking that. And do you think this will end up in the Stop Killing Games territory? Because like I said, if Steam is trying to ban games, wouldn't that mean that I lose my library? At that point, it goes into the Stop Killing Games territory. Do you think that will happen? Do you think it's all connected? Do you think somebody's talking to people over here? Or do you think I'm losing my mind and I'm trying to connect strings and branches here? I don't know. Either way, comment, subscribe down below what you think about these situations. Let me know in the comments as well. Also, to join my dark government, you need to do it. You have no choice. I'm your dark ruler. You have to do it. You have no choice. Seriously, you should know this by now. Also, don't forget to like and share my video as well to help spread the word of what's happening. Hopefully, we can get back to gaming tomorrow. Please! Please! Please. Whatever. God, like I said, like and share the video to help spread my influence around. Glaze it everywhere. And to help my influence grow. Take that as you will. Also, don't forget to basically press the black bell button to be notified whenever my videos pop up, because you know how YouTube channel is. She doesn't even bother announcing my videos. And also come to my channel because sometimes I forget to upload them as well. Either way, right now, my dark minions dismissed.